Good morning, y'all. It's been a busy week. It's going to be a busy week for the next couple days. We've got graduations going on and just end of the school year things, and just trying to make it to the finish line. And it's already been a morning, y'all. That's the second little young chick that's out. I already caught one. We're gonna go see if we can kind of corner this one like we did the other one, catch it and put it back in there. And then we'll be getting some rocks to put up underneath so it can't sneak out again. Okay, we gotta fill up the little chicken's water. Hi, boys. No crowing this morning? No? Alright. We did get, I did get the little chick back in there. They're all just kind of standing around pecking and eating. Everybody's good. Meat birds are growing out. Our layers are getting bigger. And soon enough, these... Hi! That was a cream leg bar. Put the, I was going to say, we're going to have to put the Australorps and the cream leg bars back out into our big layer pen because they can do that. They just want to come and say hello, apparently. Huh? I think they've finally eaten that one down. That was a feeder that was in their small brooder. We have the large feeder that holds like a full 50-pound bag of feed. But that small one was in their brooder, and I just brought it out here just so they can finish eating it. That won't get refilled. We'll just take it out once it looks like it's empty today. We'll probably take it out today. What are y'all doing? I think I got something for them. These larger birds are a lot more friendly. They've been used to me. They've had me. These larger birds are a lot friendlier than the smaller ones that we just put in here. Obviously, they've had more time with me, and they're getting more comfortable around me. Unlike our smaller Americanas, and I've got a couple Morans. That's who was out. I believe they were called Midnight Morans. That's the ones that got out. They, the bigger birds have kind of been pecking and wallering, and I think they just kind of slipped out just because they're the smaller ones. They don't really want to be out. They just happened to get out and couldn't figure out how they got out. I think is what it amounted to. I think there's 4 Midnight Morans, I believe. There's one at the feeder on the other side of that small feeder. There's one right here with these bunch of meat birds. I believe that's one back here in the corner. And I believe there's one right on the other side, right there. So I should have 4 Midnight Moran pullets, which will be super cool. They'll lay like a super dark brown egg. And these black Australorps, they'll just lay kind of like a medium brown egg. they'll be large, but like a medium colored brown egg. And same with the golden laced Wyandottes. If those are hens, we got those as a straight run. So they could possibly be roosters. This one that's getting ready to jump up here at me. I'm pretty sure she's a hen though. Or it's a hen. But we have these Americanas. I got a couple different colored chicks of Americanas. I had, where'd it go? That one right there is an Americana. And so are those. Now that's a cream lake bar, this one. Which she'll lay like a blue to green egg. And so will the Americanas. They'll also lay like a bluish egg. We've got one Americana adult over there that we've had. She's probably 4 or 5 years old, maybe even older. We've had her. I believe she's the oldest one we've had. From her batch, she's all that survived when we had coyotes and raccoons and bobcats and things come in. She was just smart enough to be able to get away and hide and survive. Now we don't really have that problem because of Mr. Tobias. See, this is what they do. They stick their head out. It's not nearly big enough for them to get out. Oops. But it's big enough for them to stick their head out and peck around at the little pieces of grass and things that's on the outside. And the little small Morans, because they are so small, the little small Morans, like that one running, they are so small that they can get out of those little spots, and we just gotta catch them, and eventually they're all going to be free range, so it's not a huge deal that they get out. But I don't want it getting out here by itself and possibly some other predator coming and getting it. See, they're a lot smaller than the black Australorps. They're even smaller than the Cornish cross. That's because those are a meat bird. Alright, let's go check on this water. Okay, figured to come in, check the feed. Yeah, they're good. I probably got a little less than half a bag left, which will last them multiple days. Alright, y'all. Check birdies. We are down to the two. Those are our 2 adult drakes. We did harvest one. As you can see, they always kind of stick together, and then they'll gang up on just one hen. And right now we only have 4 adult hens. 2 has babies under them, and then that's the original mama right there that hatched out last year's batch, hatched out that hen from last year and her other sisters. So she showed back up again. It looks like she's looking for some food. I'm not sure if we're going to get any ducklings out of her. She's definitely sitting somewhere. Because if not, she would be out here with them. They would all 4 just kind of stick together. And she's new. She's just now come back. That's why they're chasing her like that. That's just what drakes do. And this hen's been back for a little while, and that's why they're not really super interested in her. They stick with her, and ducks are, they really stick together. So her coming back, it's like a new duck being introduced. It's kind of like a pecking order thing. But I do believe that she is just, let's see if we can, I think she's underneath the side by side. I do believe she is just coming out to eat. She's still very much, I believe she's still very much has a nest with eggs, because we don't see her all the time. She comes, eats a little bit, the drakes chase her like this, and then she disappears again. And when she disappears, she's disappearing back to her nest to finish incubating those eggs for us. So we'll keep an eye on her. And lost my coffee for a minute. We'll keep an eye on her and keep y'all updated, see if we get any new baby ducklings. Yes, I'm just now getting my coffee. It was kind of a late start morning. We have 2 days of school left. We got tomorrow, my kindergartner has graduation, and the following day, my 8th grader has graduation. So we're busy this week, and everybody's tired. Everybody's ready to be done with school, and we're just trying to make it to the end. I'm gonna sit here and take a couple drinks of my coffee before we have to go down and start milking, and we'll go down, we'll milk the goats, and probably have to give some more water to the calves. We pulled them out Sunday, yeah. Yesterday, I typically don't film a whole lot on Mondays, or I don't film on Mondays too much. My daughter is kind of picking up. She's wanting to kind of start. So we'll see if that turns into anything. She may start picking up our Monday recordings. But I'm just enjoying my coffee, and we'll see you in a little bit when we go down to milk. Hi, Yadi. Say morning. Say good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Oops. Oliver. He likes to go and visit the neighbors and play with their dogs. He's such a good dog. Both of them are. Tobias is just a little bit older for a big dog, and he doesn't play as much anymore. He's not as puppy-like. He's not as puppy-like playing anymore. He just kind of lays around. And Mr. Oliver is still very much a puppy. He's not quite a year old yet. Or he may have just turned a year old. I may have to look at that. In desperate need of a bath, for sure. girl. Brushed out here. Sunday, y'all seen my two middle children milking. And I don't know. It's just always been a thing to see if they can squirt each other with the milk. To be perfectly honest, I believe that originated with their father doing it to my older girls when we first got goats. We've had goats for about 5 or 6 years now. So, yeah, I think they tend to, I'm going to attempt to not use the hobbles. Typically, I can milk the goats without having to use the hobbles. Cracker sometimes is a little bit different. Sometimes she's a little tricky to get milked without her spilling the milk. But, we'll see. Peanut butter. I gotta clean her first. Alright. I just don't want to spray in the bucket. Good girl. Good girl. It is a little later than I normally get out here, but we did do the junior chickens water and did have to catch a couple little pullets. That was kind of unexpected this morning. So, yeah, put us getting out here a little bit later. And just the lateness of me not getting my coffee before we did drop off. So. It's not ideal for her to do that, what she's doing, but honestly, as long as she's not trying to kick the bucket over, it doesn't bother me. Because sometimes, some goats, I think Miss Cracker's one of them, will actually aim for the bucket to try to knock it over. They're goats. But I can tell it's a little bit later because she's quite a bit fuller this morning than she normally is. When I come down after dropping the kids off. That's typically our morning routine. We get up where there's no electric down here. I wait until after daylight to come out and milk. In our old milk stall, which we've actually been tearing down and burning up on the hill, it was time for it to come down. We haven't been using it for well over a year now. It was just old and it needed to come down. It served its purpose. It kept the rain off our heads, the snow off our heads, and I was able to, like this, I've had a gate, I was able to bring in the animals and close the gate and make it like a stall almost. But it was built up off of the ground. Where we are, very mountainous area, as you can see. There's lots of runoff, and there was a runoff from the hill that went underneath it. So we had to build it up off the ground. That way that ditch line could still run underneath it. And just using what we had on hand. I have nothing against using pallets. They were free. We've had a couple major floods in our area. Like completely took out complete neighborhoods, just almost thousands of homes it took out. And it left people homeless, and there's still people that when I'm driving my husband to work, there's a road that we take, and these floods have been multiple years ago now. You can look it up. There is people that we still drive down the road, and they own their property. They had trailers or even small homes, maybe not even small homes, but they had homes on these pieces of property, and the flood come and either completely destroyed it. Most people had to completely gut their house. Some people some people didn't get any water in their homes. It just really depended on where you were at, where your home was located at. But there was places that they had to completely gut their home, down to the two befores. And like the outside siding, that was like all that was left. They had to completely redo everything. Insulation, wiring, drywall, flooring, piping. We had some family that had to completely gut their home. My sister-in-law, the first flood, they actually had to wade water to get out of their home because it rose so quick, and it was at night. The river did run behind their house. They had been watching it, and that's the reason they was able to get out. But it just rose. Just within minutes, it rose. We were lucky enough here on our holler. Our creek is like a beginning where a creek would begin. We have the mountains, and the water runs off the mountains, and then it goes down in the creek, and that small creek runs into larger creeks, and larger creeks down to the river, right? So we were lucky enough that, our water got up, but it never got nowhere close to any of our animals or any of our homes or anything. So we didn't have any loss here, other than some bank off of the creek, because the water did get up really high. But a lot of people donated to this area, and stores everywhere just donated water and things like that, and it come in on pallets. And so most of the donation places was churches, and there was some and the fire departments. So you can imagine that a church and a fire station parking lot can kind of get filled up pretty quick when you have the abundance of donations that come in. So they had all these, I just call them blue pallets. Some are blue, some are red. It's really like the pallets that Walmart uses, the real thick, heavy-duty ones. But there was regular pallets too. But they would have them just stacked up, and they just told people, if you want to come get them, you can have them for free. So there for months, I was just kind of driving around and gathering blue pallets. Like I said, some are red, but those thick pallets I gathered because the plan was to build a barn out of it. which we didn't end up doing. We used it, and we used some of them. We built the milk stall. We have like a birthing stall, which we don't use anymore either, but we built like a little birthing stall for our goats with it. Across the creek, we built like a little shelter for our bucks to be able to get into. That's what this kid pen little shelter is made out of, is those pallets. And we use the pallets to set down to set our hay on top of, so the hay isn't sitting directly on the ground. So the bottom layer doesn't get ruined. And so we use the pallets, and we just ended up deciding not to do the pallet barn. And as you can see, we're kind of in the middle of still finishing this barn. And I just kind of took over this side of it as a milk stall for the goats, just to keep the rain off our heads. We will have a different milk stall built, and eventually, I'm not sure how much of this will be closed in, because right now we just got cattle panel up to separate each section. We're using it like stalls. We have the calves over on the other side. It gives them enough room where they can lay, and it gives them plenty enough room to move around for their size, but it keeps them close enough to where we can make them friendly. So right now we're just using the stalls, but eventually this will be a hay barn that we can also use as stalls. Not sure how much of it we'll close in. I know we'll close some walls in just to help keep the rain and stuff off the hay once we are using it consistently as a hay barn. So basically the pallets that we got to build the barn we didn't use, and so they sat around, and a lot of them have rotted just from sitting outside in the weather. And so now this year we're trying to do a lot of cleanup. We had probably 60 pallets up here, plus we had up on the hill, we had the old milk stall to tear down, and we still haven't tore down the birthing stall. We're still in the process of cleaning up. So it's a bit of a mess, but when you're on a working farm, there's always something to do. And right now, that's something for us, is just trying to clean up some of the mess that we know we're not going to be using. And then we'll be working on fencing and things. That way we can get our cows back on the big property. I forgot to bring the other bag. There's a hole. You're muddy. I've got a couple. I'll give them a couple. We'll have to bring a bag up to refill this. Oh, you're so muddy. What are you doing, peanut butter? Huh? Your dogs are going to get jumped on. Move. Alright, Miss Cracker. Go ahead. down to the bottom of the barrel, ladies. Alright. Now let's see if we can get Miss Cracker milked without spilling the milk. Peanut butter, you got yourself wrapped up, Dookie. Alright. I feel like y'all shed all summer long. Yeah, I do, mate. Oliver, did you dig that hole? I think you did. All right. I am going to wait to bring the milk bucket down until after I get her clean. Okay, stop. 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 She might do okay for me, and she might not. Either way, I'm pretty confident in that I'm not going to hobble her. I say that. I really hope I don't lose my milk. The way she jumps around and acts, you would really think that this is her first year, but it's not. It's really not. This is, I think, her 4th freshening. We've done this every year, the same way. Since the first year, I've done things the exact same way. I brush them out, I clean them. What is it, baby girl? I do things the exact same way. I brush them out, I clean them. We strip the first couple strips of milk. Kitty, 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 kitty. No. And then Stevie, no. Stevie. Stevie. Hey, stop. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. It's hers. Not sure who that was. Okay. This is the dangerous part. I have a half a bucket of milk that I don't want her to spill. Okay. I just have to trust in my abilities here. We're going to go ahead and get them took up. Girlfriend, how do we get you unhooked over here? Okay. Nope, 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 nope. Come on now. Okay. got kitty cat Rowdy. Oh, you got kitty cat. Alright, y'all. Let's get Rowdy loaded. Okay. Everybody's waiting for their grain and milk. Everybody. They all know when I'm done milking, it's grain time. And the bottle babies are looking for the milk as well. So let's pull down here and we'll get the lamb bar out. We'll give these goats the milk, and then we'll actually give them some grain, and then we'll give them milk. And then we'll come back and we'll give the cows some grain. Okay, so I actually changed my mind. The lamb bar needs cleaned, so we're going to take it back to the house, clean it up real good. We're going to take it back to the house and clean it up real good before we give them the milk. So we'll take the milk home. We went ahead and gave them some grain. Now they've had some grain and they're looking for the milk, because what it is, because I didn't put it back in there. But they'll be fine. They've got hay and water and grain. They're spoiled bottle babies, so they're wanting the milk. Went ahead and gave Ellie Mae and Lorraine some grain. Let me see. So they're happy now. Everybody's happy. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to the house. And we're going to wash out the lamb bar for the baby goats. Ready to go do that? So we're going to go wash out the lamb bar for the baby goats. And then after we get done doing that, we'll go over and check on the laying chickens and make sure their water doesn't need filled. And which it probably does. It's been pretty warm. Everybody's been drinking quite a bit of water. We've had a super cool spring, which has been really nice. But this last week, summer just hit, boom. And I think it's actually supposed to cool back down, so we'll have more spring-like temperatures next week. But we're going to have a lot of rain coming, or multiple days of rain coming. I'll show you real quick. The ones we banded yesterday. That's the small one. Two black with the white bellies and legs, and they've actually got horns. We don't disbud the meat goats. Those are the ones we banded. As you can see, nothing still. We're getting all kinds of yelling from the bottle babies. These are our 4 bottle babies here. The 2 brown and the black and white doe. And you hear the goats, Rowdy? But that's our other one that we banded. Those are the 2 right there we banded yesterday. Doing perfectly fine, eating grain. Do you want to say hello? Do you want to say hello? Yeah? Yeah. Say, let's go. Let's go. You want to go for a ride and check the mail? Yeah? Yeah? Let's get the lamb bar clean, get the milk home. Okay? Okay? And then we'll go check the mail. Okay? Yeah? Okay. Y'all, I know I show these baby ducks all the time. They're just the cutest little things. ultimately, I would like 2 different kid pens. That way, I've got an area for the ones that are weaning, but we still, but we're still not wanting to necessarily turn loose into the big pen yet. But right now, this is just what we have. We're working with what we got. We're doing some cleanup and building, and this is just the way it is right now. We've got the kid goats got their milk, and the baby's laying down taking her nap, and we're gonna head back to the house and do some inside chores that definit't need done before we have pickup here in about 2.5 hours. We'll have to leave, so yep, thank y'all, and God bless.